Alright team, welcome back to our Coaching the Coaches series. So we've already been over how to divide your time in classes. Now we're going to spend some time looking at setup for giving an effective brief. Okay, so we're going to be starting from the top. We're going to be setting the tone. All right, so a tone needs to be authoritative but still having a lot of energy. We're going to make sure that everybody is listening and wants to be in here. So I generally like to call everybody in. Then I'll wait for everybody to come in before I start talking and wait for people to stop talking before I even start talking. So just setting the tone as the authority of the class is really going to help you set you up for success later on when you're giving your brief. Number two is state the workout clearly. All right, make sure you know what the workout is, you know how it flows and operates, and you know what you're looking for within the workout. It's quite hard to get to state the workout and you're not really sure or understand how it works. So a couple of key things or easy ways to know that is do the workout first. It's an easy way. Sit down, watch someone do the workout, or really kind of look at the workout and make sure you know what you're talking about there. So stating the workout nice and clearly so everybody understands what you're doing that day is really going to help out limit the questions coming up throughout your brief or after the brief. Number three is explain the stimulus and the feel, right? So a lot of people will state the workout really clearly. People will go up and do it and maybe they'll just miss stimulus completely. So I really want you guys to nut down on understanding what we're looking for in the workout. So let's give the example, if it's 20-59 thrusters, pull-ups, Fran, we know that the stimulus is going to be high volume or moderate volume, but high intensity, moving really quickly. People shouldn't be struggling to move the thrusters or do the pull-ups. So the stimulus is a sprint feel, all right? So when you're explaining that, all right, make sure you're explaining that this is meant to be a fast workout. If you can't do X, Y, Z, then don't do it this way, it will scale down. Once I've explained the workout, the stimulus, we then want to highlight movement standards and key points. So we'll use that example of 21-59 thrusters and pull-ups. Movement highlights or movement standard highlights is what we're going to be looking at. So squatting below parallel with the barbell, make sure looking at hip, knees and elbows overhead. Bottom of the pull-up, we have extended arms and chin over bar. So those are the standards that we want to be hitting throughout the workout, and make sure we make that very clear. Key points, this is high intensity again, moving fast. So what are we saying? We're then going to cover our scaling options. So if people can't do the thrusters at X weight for unbroken reps, or they can't do pull-ups, then that's where we can go into our scaling options and cover them off, which helps out, again, cover some questions at the end of your brief, hopefully. From there, we want to cover logistics and flow. All right, so if you know you have an odd-shaped gym or an odd-shaped facility that you're working in, make sure you understand and you have prepared where you want people to go and tell them this is where I want you to set up your barbell next to your pull-up bar, okay? If you have a lot of equipment out, make sure you tell them, right, we're gonna have boxes here, we're gonna have barbells here, kettlebells here, pull-up bar there. I want you to think about the flow of the class and how it's going to look and feel so it's not so messy, and the logistics of where everything goes. So if people need to share equipment, make sure they know that and where it goes and how it's going to work and operate. 7 is just understanding. So this is your opportunity to open the floor to questions and hopefully limit questions from all of our steps previous, but understanding the workout and understanding what stimulus is, what the feel is, what the workout is, what the movement standards are, key points, scaling options, and logistics and flow. From there, end with energy, all right? So always end with, all right, like, let's go team, let's pick it up, let's get into the warm-up, let's get into the workout, let's get into the lifting piece. Always end on that kind of higher note, and you're setting the tone for that. I always like to end by saying, all right, well, the warm-up is gonna be X long, you have until then to get this done. That way they know at the end of that warm-up or the end of that time frame, they're moving on. So that is 8 steps that we have for setting up our brief for effectiveness. Couple of things we want to keep in mind is keeping it under 3 minutes, right? We want to make sure that we're not here for a long time. People want to get moving, get into it, right? So 3 minutes is kind of that golden time frame that we don't want to exceed. Be consistent. So however you run your briefs in the future, make sure that's how you run it every time, all right? People like consistency when they come in, so if they know they're going to see the tone is going to be set, the workout is going to be stated clearly, stimulus will be explained, highlight movement standards and scaling options, you know that's their flow. They know how to listen for that, all right? They know what to listen for. And then it's gonna be balancing authority and energy. This is a really hard one. You can be really hard on people and make them be quiet while you wait and not have energy, or you can have too much energy and just try to talk over people. So we've got to make sure that we balance the authority and energy really well. Otherwise, you're gonna lose people's interest, you're gonna lose people's respect and stuff like that. And in a coach, we don't want that. So what we're gonna do now is I'm just gonna go over today's class and run through these key points for my brief. Alrighty team, come on in, come on nice and close so you can see me. We're going to be running through today's class. So, as you can see, what we have on today, we are working every 4 minutes for our 8 sets. We're going to be starting with our sandbag, ground to shoulder, and then going into a 20-meter bear hug carry, and then we're going to right into our runs. So with the sandbag, bear hug, ground to shoulder, what we're going to see is from the ground, we're taking that sandbag up to the shoulder, hand off to show clear extension, control of the bag, and back down to the ground. You can either touch go or you can go 1 rep at a time. On that 6th one, you're going to bring that bag up onto the shoulder, drop it back straight down into this bear hug position. We want to see arms wrapped around, nice high on the chest as well. All right, we're going to go for a 20-meter carrier. Once we're into that carry, we're going to go directly into our running today. So running for perform, we've got a 500-meter run, so outdoor, run the block, back in the front door. We've got our open run, which is a 400 meter, so same start as our perform run, but you'll come in the back door, and 300 meter run for our general track, which is going to be out the door, around, in the same entrance as open. What we're going to be looking for here is using a heavy and challenging sandbag for today. We want to make sure that we're having at least 1 minute rest within that 4 minute window, which means we want to be aiming to finish under that 3 minutes. So we are going to be seeing high volume or high load here. This should be quite hard. That 6 sandbag clean should be really a struggle, and we want to be holding on for dear life with the forearms here. Directly into that run today, we want to be hitting hard and fast. We want to get out the door, get straight into a breathing the rhythm that we're used to, finding your legs underneath you, and then holding and maintaining that pace. What we're going to see from round to round today is maintaining splits across. That first one might be a bit slow because we're a little bit cold, but from there we should be able to maintain intensity across while maintaining that rest. Obviously, we've gone over different scaling options today, so that's how we're going to be running that. With the logistics and the flow of the class, what I want to see is sandbags setting up along the line here. We'll then use the length of the gym to do our carry. All right, so any questions on that? Beauty, we're going to head into our warm-up now, team. So we're going to set an 8-minute clock for our AMRAP and get into that. Awesome, team, so that was my brief for the workout. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure I had all my points. So we're going to set the tone nice and early, be welcoming, be authoritative with how you're getting your welcome in. State the workout clearly, so really think about in the future what you want to say with the workout. Either do the workout so you have a greater understanding if you're unsure, or really sit down and look at it or watch someone do the workout. Explain the stimulus and feel, so really making sure that you're getting people's understanding of what we want to be feeling and seeing today. Highlight the movement standards and key points. Cover all of their scaling options, go over logistics and flow of the class, go over understanding again, so again, opportunity to ask questions, and end with energy. So those are our key points, and again, keep it under 3 minutes, be consistent with our briefs, and be authoritative but energetic. Thanks, team.